Good afternoon. Try one more time. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for this very, very exciting announcement. Before we get into this program and this announcement, let's give another round of applause for the Rising Stars Fife and Drum Band. The group consists of Sharday Thomas and Chris Mallory, which, as they mentioned, are from Coldwater, Mississippi. Give another round of applause to the Mississippi talent. They are known for its fife and drum tradition that extends over 100 years. For 80 of those years, the tradition was kept alive by the late Otha Turner, who is Sharday's grandfather. He mentored her, and she is now keeping that legacy alive again. I want to share a little bit about the history and some facts about the National Folk Festival, which is an exuberant travel event hosted by communities for 3 years, moving to different locations after the selection of each city. It has been presented in nearly 30 cities across the country. The national stay in communities is extended to lay a groundwork for creation of a new locally produced festival that continues after the National Folk Festival leaves. For many of you, for years, you have asked me about an event that meant a lot to us emotionally and culturally, and that is Jubilee Jam. This is one mechanism that we believe that not only can we share in the glory and the beauty of the National Folk Festival for the 3 years that it will be here in the city of Jackson, but it gives us the ability to give rise to the events like Jubilee Jam that meant so much to our community. Please give that a round of applause. This is the first time that the National Folk Festival has been selected to be in Mississippi. Give that a round of applause. We know that we are often referred to as the birthplace of music. As we were aiming to be the selected city for the National Folk Festival, part of our charge and part of our effort to entice the selection of the city of Jackson was to make it clear that where we have roots in the creation of blues and jazz and genres like gospel music, that this is the opportunity for America's music to come home to Mississippi. Jackson won the honor of hosting the National Folk Festival in its national competition, which was a process that involved approximately 42 cities across the nation. I think that it is appropriate that I give a round of applause and support to our planning and development department, specifically Ms. Yika Hoover, who had the vision for the city's submission. The National Folk Festival Jackson is being produced by the National Council of the Traditional Arts in combination with the City of Jackson and in partnership with Visit Jackson, Downtown Jackson Partners, the Greater Jackson Chamber, the Community Foundation for Mississippi, the Mississippi Arts Commission, the Mississippi Humanities Council, Visit Mississippi, and the National Park Service. I want to take a moment also to thank various cities that have participated in this event coming to the city of Jackson. In fact, we want to make it clear that this National Folk Festival is Mississippi's National Folk Festival, not just the city of Jackson. I want to thank Mayor Gary Rhodes of Flowood. Please give him a round of applause. Mayor Jake Wyndham of Pearl. The city of Canton and Mayor Truly. And also Mayor Flaggs of the city of Vicksburg. We truly believe that this event, which is estimated to bring 60,000 people in its first year, which is a 3-day event for each year that it is in the city of Jackson, and estimated 100,000 people each year subsequent to that. So this is not only an opportunity for us to celebrate, enjoy one another and America's music, this is economic development for our city. This is an opportunity where we see where art influences capital far more than capital influences art. This will be an opportunity for our restaurants, all of those that work in our hospitality industry, to take advantage of the people who will be joining us and enjoying our beautiful sun, our beautiful city, and the beautiful history of music that we will be putting on display here in the city of Jackson. And so to say that we are excited is truly an understatement. I want to thank our honorary chairs that are serving on the festival committee, the first being the First Lady of Jackson, Mississippi, the beautiful, brilliant Ebony Lumumba, Dr. Ebony Lumumba. And we're grateful for the acceptance of the invitation to serve as a co-chair by First Lady of the state of Mississippi, Ely Reeves. Give her a round of applause. And to give you more details on the festival and their role as chairs, I'd like to invite my beautiful wife to come forward. Thank you. We were also, this is where our reception for our wedding was, so we have some nostalgia in this place too. All right, thank you.
Thanks, so you're just on a date with us. Enjoy. Thank you, my love. The National Folk Festival, I am tremendously excited to bring this to our city and our state. I am excited to serve as co-chair with First Lady Reeves, and I want to give you a little bit more information about what you can expect so that we can expect you to serve as ambassadors to get people to this place and get them excited about what's coming to our city and our state. The National Folk Festival is a free, we like free, anyone else like free? Yeah. Inclusive, family-friendly event. And during the 3-year residency here in Jackson, everyone will see something of themselves represented in the festival performances. It's a festival that celebrates the roots, richness, and variety of American culture. And although this is a national festival, our festival will certainly highlight the best about Mississippi. And aren't we excited about that? Aren't we? Don't leave me hanging. This festival renews and transforms its host communities economically, culturally, and socially. So this is a little bit of what Jackson can expect over our 3-year residency. Over 330,000 visitors to the downtown area during our 3 years. Over $60 million in long-term economic impact. I think that deserves finger snaps, claps, and whatever you got. Record-breaking weekends for the region's tourism and hospitality industries, as well as local businesses and restaurants. A signature arts destination event with a national reputation that increases awareness for our region's artistic and cultural heritage. New and lasting investments in the capacity for arts programming, event production, and infrastructure, and downtown development. Enhanced community outreach, participation, engagement, collaboration, quality of life, civic pride. The benefits go on and on and on. And we haven't forgotten our young people. There will also be educational programming. Well, they'll be able to access that cultural and heritage-driven content that they oftentimes may not have the access to within the educational system. We're going to bring it to the festival and welcome them to take a role in that as well, because we are leaving them this city and this state, are we not? Without any further ado, I would like to now introduce Blaine Wade, who serves as the Executive Director for the National Council for the Traditional Arts. Blaine, join me.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? So it's a true honor for us to be here and announcing this news that Jackson will be the next host city for the National Folk Festival. And I'd like to start, please, another round of applause. I'd like to start, first of all, by thanking Mayor Lumumba, First Lady of Jackson Lumumba, and also seconding what Mayor Lumumba said, and thanking the Office of Planning and Development for leading this cause, Yika, as well as Jennifer West, and Jai Keaton, who has come on recently. If it wasn't for their hard work, dedication, and belief in this effort, we would not be here today announcing, again, congratulations to Jackson on hosting the National Folk Festival in 2025, 2026, and 2027. Those will be the 82nd, 83rd, and 84th National Folk Festivals, and the National Council for the Traditional Arts is truly excited to be beginning this partnership with the City of Jackson, and we really believe in the impacts that can come out of this. I wanted to talk a little bit about our site visit in November. I had the pleasure of being here with George Holt, the chairman of our board of directors, to see the city, and we came away truly inspired and energized by the belief and excitement the city had. We came, and the city had done a wonderful job having all the key stakeholders here at these meetings, and we left with a deep sense of the buy-in and the belief and the commitment everybody here had. And as George and I got on the plane to fly home, we both knew there was an opportunity here to do something special, and we knew leaving that we had found our next host city. So it's just so exciting to be here to announce that news. You know, we've talked some about how this will be the first time the festival has been in Mississippi. I'm biased. I grew up some in Mississippi myself. I'm speaking to a very biased audience, I think and I hope. But I think Mississippi has an arts and cultural legacy that is really unrivaled throughout the state and has made contributions to the history of American music that stand with any state. And it's so exciting for the NCTA to be able to participate in that and help celebrate that through these festivals. So it's a truly new and exciting event for us. I wanted to just take a few minutes to tell you guys a little bit more about the National Council for the Traditional Arts, and specifically the National Folk Festival. We're an organization that's 90 years old. We founded the festival in 1933 and 1934, and what was unique about the festival at this time was our founder, Sarah Gertrude Knott in St. Louis, set out to celebrate the finest traditional artists from cultural communities from throughout the nation at one event. And the idea being that they were all being put on an equal footing, and saying that all of these cultures collectively together contributed to how we think about American culture and American identity. Now, the way we do the festival has changed over the years. We've talked already some about that this is going to be a 3-year residency leading to a locally produced festival that lives on. That's how we've been working for about the last 40 years. And through that work, we've seen how the festival can be a driver for long-term economic impacts, downtown revitalization, and really a sense of community building. But that artistic vision and that mission for the festival has remained the same, of bringing the finest traditional artists from communities throughout the country to one event and saying collectively, this is how we need to be thinking about American culture, that all of these people make up the wonderful fabric and quilt that we have. So we like to say that each festival is a snapshot of American culture at any given point in time, from communities and families who have been here for generations, all the way up through our most recent arrivals. And so that's what the Jackson audiences are going to see over the next few years, are festivals that have Irish music and blues and gospel alongside South Asian traditions from different parts of the Middle East, reflecting new cultural communities that have come in, and also looking at newer traditions like salsa, hip hop, funk, and even skateboarding, all to celebrate the different backgrounds and identities everybody has, to have an inclusive event that is free in a downtown where everybody can come and feel like it's accessible and they can belong, and it becomes this wonderful community-owned event. To just talk a little bit more about the basics of the festival, it's a 3-day festival. It'll start on a Friday night. It's going to be in November. We're going to be in the second weekend of November each year. 3 days, it'll start on Friday night. There'll be up to 6 stages downtown, and there's going to be something for everyone. There's going to be parades and participatory dance, a family activities area, regional and culturally diverse foods, crafts marketplace, and there'll be a dedicated area, the Mississippi Folklife area, to the culture of Mississippi. And it's a chance to celebrate and hold up the cultural traditions of Mississippi to show the best the state has to offer to a national audience. And again, speaking on behalf of the NCTA, it's just so exciting to think about the richness and the history and the heritage here and what we'll be able to present at our festivals. But the long-term goal is ultimately building that locally produced festival that stays, becomes part of the community, and has those long-term impacts. And so what the NCTA brings is decades of experience to work with the city, to identify where the strengths are, to leverage those, to fill the gaps where our experience can be helpful. And over time, by the end of that 3 years, by the launch of the locally produced festival, through the partnership, through what the NCTA brings, through what the city brings, and the growth and the capacity building that happens, is a sustainable, locally produced festival that leads to long-term impacts for years to come in the city. And so it's a really exciting model, and we're really looking forward to being able to do that. I just wanted to close by talking about one aspect of the partnership with Jackson that's going to be really unique and exciting. Some of you may have heard, but 2026 is the 250th anniversary since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. This particular upcoming commemoration has been named or branded America 250. So the second year of the Nationals residency in Jackson is going to coincide with the America 250 celebration. And it's going to be a really wonderful time. We're very excited. The festival is going to be an official event in the state of Mississippi's America 250 commemoration. And it's a wonderful synergy between the two. America 250 is committed to sharing the stories of all Americans, to developing civic engagement. And these are all things the festival does. We've talked about all the diversity and celebrating and acknowledging the contributions of all Americans through their artistic traditions. But civic engagement is also a major part of the festival. There are local committees who help guide the process. The festival relies on over up to 1,000 volunteers. So it's really a community effort, a community lift. And that's really where the festival is most powerful, is by getting everybody on board, making it a community-owned event. And it's when it does that, and we can talk about where we've worked in Richmond, Virginia, and Lowell, Massachusetts, other festivals in Greensboro, North Carolina, and Salisbury, Maryland, and they can all talk about the economic development and the downtown revitalization. But more than anything, it's about what a city can do when it's at its best and everybody's pulling together. So we're really looking forward to being able to tell that story here in Jackson, Mississippi. So thank you very much. So there's been a lot of talking now. We really want you guys to hear some more music and see what the festival is all about. So we're really thrilled to have some friends here with us from San Antonio to give you a flavor of what comes from outside the state of Mississippi. This is Max and Josh Baca of Los Tex Maniacs, probably the premier Conjunto Tejano band in the U.S. They're deeply rooted in the tradition, but they've also taken it some really exciting new ways. So with that, I'll turn it over to Josh and Max.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. And it's an honor for me to be here with my nephew Josh. I'm Max and he's Josh Baca, and we're from San Antonio. And we represent Chicano music, Tex-Mex music, and hope you like a little bit of part of our culture. ¿Cómo estás? Voy a cantar estos versos, aunque yo no soy de aquí. Yo soy puro mexicano, soy de San Luis Potosí. Caminando y caminando, he llegado a San Antonio. Me encontré muy buen trabajo y también con el demonio. Found me a little pecanita, and I fell in love with her. She was so bonita that I had to marry her. Then she took off to Laredo, and she called me from Nuevo León. She said, send me some more money so that I can come back home. I'll pick a better chorus. Sweet Josh. Now I'm back in my homeland, back where I was born. One thing I know for sure now, been here where the banda low. I left her in old San Antonio because I could not afford her. Ay, que la torre y el diablo, a ver si la puede aguantar. She belongs to El Diablo. You can have her, I don't want her anymore. Thank you, folks. Thank you so much. We lost the accordion there for a minute.
We lost everything up here, brother.
1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. How y'all doing? Man, it's great to be here. You know, I'd like to just say a little something about the NCTA. It's for me as a musician, us as musicians, this is what we do for a living, right? And that's all we ever done is play music. And I'll tell you, I've been part of NCTA since, oh God, I would say since 2000. Actually, no, so about 1999. Started doing events for the NCTA, and I'll tell you, it's been not only for musicians, but there's all kinds of other art forms that NCTA helps out and funding and stuff like that for for different events and festivals around the nation. And so it's very important for us as musicians to be a part of the National Council for the Traditional Arts. Otherwise, we would just have to play them cantinas all the time and so forth, which we've done. But with the National Council, man, we were able to get out and tour a little bit better, and then also in 2010 we received our American Grammy. So I thank you everybody out there in National Council of Traditional Arts. Blaine Wade, thank you so much, and Colleen, and of course Madeline and Julia. The music we're playing, it's Tex-Mex music, and this music came around the turn of the century when the Germans, the Czechs, the Europeans settled in Texas, and they brought over the accordion. And there was a couple of guys, the name of Narciso Martinez, along with Santiago Jimenez Sr., Flaco Jimenez's dad, and they were the first to hear the Germans play and so forth. We managed to get an accordion as well, but what we did different was incorporate this instrument that I'm playing called the bajo sexto, which is a 12-string guitar with bass strings and guitar strings, and it was designed to take the place of the left-hand side of the accompaniment part of the accordion, because when the Germans, they would accompaniment themselves like this. So bajo sexto took the place of that. And therefore we kind of created our own style, our own sound called Tex-Mex music. And back in the days when migrant farm workers were working the fields, this was our means of entertainment. So after a long week of picking cotton and whatever, vegetables, whatever, we'd have these barn dances, and or under a tree around a campfire. And it was just these two instruments back then. They didn't have microphones and PA systems like that. It was just out there raw like that. And this is what it sounded like way back then. 1, 2, 3. I'll pick up that accordion. thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming back. And that's how it all became about, which is two instruments. Tex-Mex music, which we call Tejano music nowadays, but I'm really excited that they're bringing the festival here to Jackson, and this is going to be great.
Yes, also, thank you so much for the privilege of being a part of the NCTA. You know, it's a great honor to express our culture, the Mexican-American community, through different genres throughout the nation. Thank you guys so much for everything you do.
Thanks, Josh and Max. One more time, Tex Maniacs. Now I'd like to bring up Barry Burgee. Barry was the longtime director of the Folk and Traditional Arts Program at the National Endowment for the Arts, and we're also pleased to consider him and call him a longtime board member for the National Council for the Traditional Arts. So, Barry?
Well, thank you, Blade. It gives me great pleasure to be here today and to see Jackson on the ground. I was able to walk around a little bit this morning and see some of the Blues Trail markers, which I love because I'm a great fan of blues music. And I do have a long connection to the National Folk Festival. I grew up in Missouri, so I'm very proud that the first National Folk Festival was held in St. Louis. I didn't go to that one, but I did attend one a few years later in 1976. I attended my first National Folk Festival, so that was 48 years ago. I was 10 years old. You can believe that or not. But I'm very happy to think that in 2026, I'll be able to come to Jackson and celebrate the 250th America celebration, but also my 50th anniversary of attending my first National Folk Festival. So I'm really happy to be able to do that, the Lord willing. I also have another connection to Mississippi in that one of the formative things, in addition to attending the National Folk Festival for my career, was that in 1970, I took a trip down to Como, Mississippi, not far from where Sade grew up, and visited Mississippi Fred McDowell. He was a great blues musician, slide guitar player from that area. We spent time with him and his wife Annie Mae. He took us out to Sardis Lake and got some fish, and we had a fish fry. And he was a very influential person to me because I learned in the course of that both the value and the quality of Mississippi music and food, for that matter. But I also learned that these local traditions are so important to us today. I was happy to see when I went inside the museum that there were works there from two people who received a National Heritage Fellowships. One of the greatest honors I had was to each year give NEA, National Heritage Fellowships. It's the highest award that the federal government gives to folk and traditional artists. And two artists, Herdesine Rinkin, a quilter, and Ethel Muhammad, a tapestry maker, are both in that museum. The great value of these festivals is that we bring people like that out of the museum, into the town, on the sidewalks, on the street corners, and let the public experience that firsthand. That's what's important about these artists, is to give them a voice, just as we've heard from these musicians, to give them a platform to perform and to talk and to cook and to make their craft, whatever it may be. And I think you'll find that this is going to be a life-changing experience. I can say that first festival for me certainly was a life-changing experience. Now I want to get on with it because I want you to hear more music, and we have among us someone who I probably don't have to introduce. I mean, I've always been told that the more famous the person, the shorter the introduction needs to be. But Bobby Rush lives right here in Jackson. Bobby Rush, an amazing blues artist. I think he won his first Grammy at the age of 83, I believe. He should have gotten one long before that. And I think he's gotten a couple since then. But he's a great blues musician, a great ambassador for the blues because he's toured. He's nonstop touring the Chitlin Circuit, you name it. He has performed before probably more people than most of us will ever see in our lifetime. Please make welcome Bobby Rush.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for being here. Blaine, y'all keep him forever because he didn't ask me to be here. He told me to be here. He called me every other day and said, I'm reminding you about the 21st. So Blaine, here I am. I say that because I want you to know that I'm so proud of Mississippi and the people of Mississippi. My mayor, y'all can call him your mayor if you want to, but he's my friend and my mayor. First lady bosses him around. He's been henpecked by the right hand. I say that in laughter because I want people to know that I stand behind this festival 100%. Whether you have me here working with you and for you or not. Because I want to pass this torch on down to people that are younger than I and been here forever, but yet they're younger than I. Because this means a lot to me. Mississippi is on the map. For the next 3 years, God bless you and bless me to be here. I want to be a part of this to make it the best festival ever. I'm glad the city has come about because I want the young people to know that. Especially I'm talking about the young black people now as a whole. Because myself is one of the old people left now. We don't want the young people to forget about the root of the music, the root of the blues, because the blues is the mother of all music. If you don't like the blues, you probably don't like your mama. Somebody asked me, said, Bobby Rush, why do you sing the blues? Is it because your woman left you? Yes. You can have the blues when your woman leave you, but you can also have the blues if they stay too long. Let me show you what I mean. Have you ever been mistreated by someone you showed enough love? Have you ever been mistreated by someone you showed enough love? Out of all of me and my woman could have left me for. She left me for the garbage man. No matter how bad she treated me, still can't get it out of my mind. No matter how bad she treated me, still can't get it out of my mind. Every time I see a garbage can, I think about her and the damn garbage can all the time. If I ever get my woman to come back home, I'll buy myself a garbage truck. If I ever get my woman to come back home, I'll buy myself a garbage truck. And when my garbage can't get full, I'm talking about real full, up to the top real full, I'm gonna take it and dump it way out in the woods. That's the blues for me. Thank you so much.
Let's give the Bobby Rush another round of applause. I thank you not only for your support of this event, but everything that you do to broaden our perspective on the blues nationally and the ambassador you are for the city of Jackson. I look forward to the renaming of our street, which will be Bobby Rush Avenue. Please give a round of applause for that. Just sitting here and thinking about the beauty of America's music, I just happen to be drawing a connection between Chicano music and the blues. I don't know if many of you picked up on that, right? And that's the essence of what this event presents to us. It's not only an opportunity to enjoy musical traditions, but also to educate ourselves and grow in our understanding. And so this is an amazing, amazing event. And I'm excited. Are y'all excited? Are y'all excited? All right, so Blaine, I have good news and I have bad news, right? The good news is that this is going to be the best festival that y'all have ever had, right? The bad news is that it's going to be all downhill after that, okay? So enjoy, because no one is going to do it better than Mississippi. Am I right? No one's going to do it better than Mississippi. Am I right? So we're excited about this. Before I close, and I'm the last person that you'll hear, I want to say this, and I really need to underscore this, because yes, it was a very competitive process, which took an application to be made by our Planning and Development Department that was followed up by Blaine and his team to do a site visit. But when we became one of the finalists, what it ultimately took was the demonstration of the unity amongst not only the various public sector entities, but the private sector, to demonstrate that we could all pull together in order to put the money together that was necessary to host this event. And I want to underscore that this is what we call operational unity, focusing more on our common ends and objectives than any differences we may have amongst us, for the purpose of benefiting us all. And so when we are competing after festivals or for opportunity for new industry, what we have to do is decide what we are going to contribute into that pot, what we're going to bring to the table. And so again, I ask that you give a big round of applause to all of the contributors, all of the supporters of the National Folk Festival coming to Jackson, because it was a truly collaborative effort. With that, I thank you all for being here. It's just a beautiful day that even as we're here celebrating the National Folk Festival coming to Jackson, we're interrupted by the noise of our planetarium, which is being rebuilt for a 21st century planetarium, right? We're sitting in the garden of the Mississippi Arts Museum, where Visit Jackson just a few short months ago hosted Jackson's first food and wine festival, right? And it's just so many amazing thing taking place. Let's not lose the momentum. Let's keep fighting, and let's make certain that we make this the best, I'm about to call it the Mississippi Folk Festival, but the best national folk festival to date. Thank y'all very much. God bless y'all.